What's good, y'all? Welcome to a new thing. This is the American Mountain Bike Podcast. I wanted to legitimize my podcast efforts and establish a platform to give you guys an analytical but lighthearted take on mountain bike racing, current events, culture. And to do that, I brought on my good friends, Nick Doman and Teddy Aiden, both who you've seen on the channel in some respect, but we've all pursued racing at a professional level together. So we've got really good rapport and we talk about a lot of this stuff on our own time. So I thought it'd be good to share our take and hopefully some good banter along the way with you guys and dive into some interesting topics. In this episode, we're going to be covering all the stories and drama that has happened thus far on the World Cup circuit, both for EDR and downhill. This is our first episode, so I think it took us maybe 10 or 20 minutes to really get in the groove here. But either way, we had fun with this one. And yeah, I hope the audio quality is bearable. We'll be figuring this out. It's a work in progress. But with that being said, thanks for tuning in and hope you guys enjoy the show. What's the good, dudes?
Waking up.
Waking up. I'm out in Maine. It's like 100 degrees already. So, you know.
Oof.
Yeah, it's a hot one. Nick, has the mood improved since last night?
A little bit.
Well,
tools flew. Things grew wings that don't have them. Long story short, I messed up installing a starter on my truck, and yeah, did 99% of it right, and that messed up one thing critically.
Shoot, should we talk about mountain biking? What are your guys' biggest takeaways or observations from the season so far?
The season's been great, to be honest. Like, I feel like last season was kind of fun to watch Jackson dominate, but ultimately, like, kind of gets a little bit boring. Like, sure, you're going for like a record and you're telling a story there, but like this season's been super unpredictable in like a bunch of different ways. So I've enjoyed watching it.
It's been consistently inconsistent, but also just the level in general is insane. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's noticeably higher than last year?
I think you have to push so hard now that what used to get by doesn't. Dudes are swinging for the fences in Q1, and then you end up with, say, what was previously regulars not making it just because they have to go so hard to get in that they might have a crash or an issue. So
yeah, I feel like we've firmly settled into that like Q1, Q2 era, and all of the younger riders have kind of like figured it out. And like that kind of, that pressure is kind of like a little turning of the guard, which I think keeps it interesting as a spectator, but as an athlete, especially like a legacy downhill athlete, like I would be pretty stressed out.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes getting into the final almost more of a deal than the final itself.
I think that's part of the story is just like, dude, there's some big names getting paid real money to go to World Cups and not make finals. Like they're even like not even part of the story. Like where is Nuke Proof Racing this year? Like Joe Breeden's program
is a company again.
The investment, like getting SRAM on board, they've got a prototype Nuke Proof. How many times has Joe Breeden been in finals?
But he's got the hand stopper nubs. Like,
I mean, dude,
those things are dialed.
At least he's got something going on, dude, because I don't think he's qualified this year.
I think that's telling to just the nature of where the sport has gone. And the thing is he's hella good. Like, that dude is unbelievably good at riding. Like, you watch his Insta clips or whatever, and you're like, that dude is super, super good. But then even, it's like, I don't know what it takes these days. Like, you watch that, you're like, how does this dude not qualify? Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, how does that raw skill does that map to downhill racing anymore? Like, can you be like a?
I mean, in general racing, I think there's like going fast and being skilled, and then there's like obviously like a balance of that.
I guess like the counterexample would be riders like Troy and Luca, like. Very skilled, very talented, kind of still keeping things in check, but like figuring out the new format. Maybe it's just evidence of a higher level in general, like the bar is just in the sky. But obviously some riders are rising to that occasion, so who knows?
I think a good one to like kind of compare last year to this year, I think Jackson is a good one to kind of look into a little bit. Because this year, the dude is, I don't think anything's changed in 8 months since he was last winning races in his skill level. Maybe his approach has changed, but like he's in a much different place this year. And I think this year is going to be really good for him long term, because he's going to have to like learn a lot and like be in it's a harder position to be in. So I think this year is going to be a huge just growth year for him as a person. And I think it'll be good for his career, but it's interesting to look at like what has changed since last year that's like making him struggle more this year.
Yeah, I think that one's like a tricky one to unpack. But I think a good place to start is like, I was up at Crankworks Whistler like 2 weeks ago, and like he absolutely blew the doors off that 11.99 race. Like he beat second place for like 5 seconds on like a pretty short track that is like, you know, it seems like as like an outsider, seems like that track has no time. And he put like 5 seconds in second place, and then it was like dense behind second.
Mm-hmm.
So like clearly the form is there, you know, but you know, there's something that has been lost in translation from like that form to like performance on the finals run in the World Cup. There's got to be a lot of layers to it. Like I can imagine being a pretty young kid and like coming off what is arguably the best World Cup season ever of any human of all time. Like that's an insane position to be in, just expectation wise. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it.
I mean, I think the way he started this year, just mentally, I mean, given that scenario, would be so hard to like recalibrate and not force yourself into making like more mistakes, because in South Korea he crashed in finals. It was Ludenville, I think, didn't qualify. That was like a mistake. And then when he went off the course, so it's like you show up to the third World Cup and it's like your last reference point for World Cup racing being successful was like winning 5 in a row, and you've essentially had 2 duds. So that's just like such a major recalibration. And I mean, from the outside looking in, it's easy to say this, like looking, you know, sitting on the couch, but I think he's tweaked out like super hard on that. The fact that he was so tweaking on his bike that he cleaned everyone on last year and has all the same parts and was like, oh, what haven't we been changing about the bikes? Like it's like, dude, that's the wrong place to look. That's just like a sign into his like mental state that he was like really searching externally.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe I missed that. Like, can you maybe unpack that a little bit? Like he, changing the bike.
Which was it, Andorra, or one of them? He did say that, and I think that maybe is the only thing he changed over the offseason. I have no idea, but I imagine that he changed things on the bike because what was it, Hardline, Tasmania? It did not look like it was working well. And that's something I think at least to me, that was something watching. He didn't look comfortable, and he made, I think, a couple mistakes in his run, and you could tell he just backed off. And then, like that Ludenville, one of them, where it's kind of like he got boinged offline and then couldn't save it. There was obviously the wind blowing one, and then the other, it wasn't even like a crash. He just like got unsettled, and that was it. So that, and maybe... That's the only thing I can think of is it's like maybe in practice or like preseason testing on something, you go down a direction and it feels great, and then you go racing and then maybe that wasn't the move. And then now you're like having to backtrack.
Yeah. I don't know. It came up a few times. I think there was like a Fox video and maybe he definitely let on that he was like tweaking on the bike. Like he cut his bars, he rolled them forward more. He was trying like all sorts of different stuff with suspension. And that was in the time like after Ludenville. Like I think into like La Tuile was one of those interviews. So, but I think that's just like, we forget that. I mean, how old is Jackson? Like 20 or 21?
Pretty young kid, yeah.
Pretty young. Like, I mean, we all have a decent amount of race experience. And I think it's like, until you have tweaked out on your bike like unnecessarily, it's hard to know where that line is, because like I think every rider is searching for a certain feeling, and it's weird sometimes when it's like the bike that is the same doesn't have the same feeling. So it's like there's something there, but I mean, it from my opinion is that he went too deep on the bike and into like the tweak zone, because to me there's just like it that having ridden that bike and given that he didn't change any parts or sponsors or anything from last year to this, like, dude, you waxed everyone on that thing last year. We shouldn't be like puzzling like fundamentally on the bike.
Yeah, I think it's tough because like I could imagine being in the position of like a World Cup racer in general. Like every off season, you want to have like progression.
Yeah,
and like it's tough to be able to be like, oh yeah, I had a great season. I'm just gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do nothing differently. And like for me, that would be a tough pill to swallow. So I can imagine, maybe chasing progression, you get in the weeds a little bit. Then you gotta dial it back. But they also have like the new team manager on Syndicate, who's like, sports psych, the goated sports psych guy. Which is a really interesting one because, like, you could make the argument that that's probably the best person to be on the team for Jackson. But then, you correlate that change to the results, and it's a little bit interesting to maybe, speculate.
He seems to be struggling in the area that change should be helping in.
Yeah. But maybe like the struggle was inevitable and like this new setup is the best it could be, who are we to say, right? But I do think that like moving forward in the season, like I would put my money on Jackson. Just like after watching him ride that track in Canada, I'm like, oh yeah, like he looked like he was looking last year. And he threw down that like effortless wax, like that was like so characteristic. And there were like some really fast riders at that race at Crankworks. Like it was all World Cup heavy hitters.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that Crankworks race mattered more to Jackson than it mattered like 3 times as much to Jackson than anyone else. Like going into the rest of the year, I think if he's going to like take off, and I think I kind of agree with you that he probably is gonna be really good for the rest of the season. Like I think that Crankworks race was like critical to like boost him off and like gain that confidence back.
And he looked like really good at La Tuile as well.
Yeah.
I think that track suits his style a bit more, but still like he looked a bit more like he was riding like without thinking about it.
You got any advice for Jackson, Nick?
I'd like, how
he's probably listening.
I don't know, like don't think about it, just ride your bike because you're good at that, and like stop tweaking on the bike, just set it to what it was and just ride it. I don't know, like there's not much, that Crankworks ride is like, okay, there you go, dude. I will say I do think he was pushing a lot harder than say the other riders at that race. From like point. What it looked like. Like I think that his willingness to win that race was a lot higher than I think it was like important to like essentially rebuild confidence to remind yourself that you can do it. I never once personally had to do that. Results are not a huge goal here for me. But I can imagine that in his position that's important to like go remind yourself like, yes, like I can do this.
I can't really think of off the top of my head other riders who weren't present at Crankworks that like would really be suited to that track.
I can think of one. A couple actually. One that might be Canadian.
Okay.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Finn. Are you
Finn?
kidding?
Oh yeah.
Like, come on.
True.
Yeah.
That might suit him pretty well.
I'm curious, because I think that 1199 track's so like rough and technical that like I think it's nice for a smaller rider, but we'll see.
I think it really
great
does.
Form.
Yeah, besides being in Canada and him really wanting to win, like that track does have Jackson's name on it for sure.
What's next?
I've got a few notes. I think one that people will be curious to hear about is the Reece Wilson era, the Reece Wilson journey, Aon Racing, and his result in Andorra, and just kind of his whole performance bike setup. What's your take on on the Reece Wilson stuff.
I'm not surprised at all that he did that result. Like that to me, that's his skill level, that's his ability, that's like what he's won World Cups, so it's like it shouldn't be shocking. I think that setup actually lends itself to that track. I think that setup is a little bit hit or miss, and there's areas that it's really good and areas that it's not, and that's kind of what that showed.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Nick. Like I think that on the first intuition, you'd be like, oh, that setup would be good on a steep track, but I think you're right that I think a track like Enduro is like a bit better option.
Yeah, I think on that setup actually I don't think is good on steep stuff. Like Brian's ridden the B more, I've ridden the B more, and I've ridden something recently that's similar to it, and
we've messed around in this
like,
world a little bit.
And that steering, it's weird. It's different. I should say it is weird and it's different. It does work though. And obviously like it can be made to work. Is it better? I don't know. I think once again in areas it is an area like it's just a product that puts your, I guess, use range in extremes. Like it doesn't have a very good middle ground.
Yeah.
Which my preference is I'd rather have something that's a little more middle ground, and then I can make up the difference or whatever. Whereas like that thing, it's like this is how it works, and that's how it works, and there's no real kind of
you're kind of handicapped in like the way you can compensate for it a little bit, like.
And there's just one way it works too. Like it just doesn't give you a lot of freedom in how you kind of ride the bike, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, then you're in uncharted waters, So like everyone else's setup is built off of like 20 years of experience, and you can kind of like there's easy conclusions to draw of like how to change a setup to suit a track. But if you're shooting in the dark, it's like you're shooting in the dark. What are you going to do? It's super sick that it came together, and I do like have some faith that is maybe the future of mountain bikes and mountain bike geometry. And as a lot more people put energy and time into kind of optimizing that type of setup, I think it'll get really good, and we'll see more riders getting good results on it. But it's hats off to Reece for trying something risky and like making it work. Because it's like one of the most exciting stories, honestly, like in downhill, is like that actually panning out for him.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, you got to be just stoked on it for him personally, but like that whole story, like if I was in his position, I don't think I would have wanted to start my own team and like try and reinvent the bicycle at like the height of my career. Like that's like
and at the highest level possible. Yeah.
So freaking risky and gnarly and stressful. Like, I don't know. I've got a lot of respect for him, like pulling trig on that whole program. And yeah, he proved it, a year and a half later, which is badass.
Did you issue a formal apology, Brian?
What do I have to apologize for?
Just kidding. No, I remember like a few races ago, you're like, well, if he was on a V10, would he be on the box? And that's still a really good point. It's still a good point.
I can congratulate and respect him and be a fan of him, and also still say, if you were on a V10, would it be better?
And I don't know. Maybe he should give it a try. Just for kicks, I'd watch that.
Yeah, I think
Spec series, that would be cool.
Yeah, Nick and I have yapped about that. But that is a litmus test, dude. Like, spend a couple days on a common solid V5 or a V10 proven bike and like take it to a few different tracks and really see. I mean, I think at the inception of that idea, I bet there was like a little bit of that back-to-back testing, but then, now they have this thing that's like way different from what the initial direction was. Like Reece was riding high bars last year, but now the stem is behind the bars are behind the stem. Like it's progressed into a completely different thing. So, I mean, I think that's like a very valid question. Yeah. We've discussed this, me and Nick, like the validity of timed runs is very hard, but like it takes a lot of effort to like make it valuable and make sense. But I think like in their position, it's like really worth doing. Like
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think like
asking the hard question. It's a hard question to ask because you put so much effort into it, but you don't want that to cloud your judgment when you're trying to be the best in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I wish a back-to-back was possible, but I feel like in order to get accustomed to that type of setup takes like so long.
I know.
There's
that's like the wild card question. Yeah.
You need to go to like a time portal and take like a year and do like 1 month on this bike, 1 month on that bike. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think maybe. Like Nick, I think it's worth explaining a little bit like why you think that setup worked well in Enduro when like conceptually, I think a lot of people think that it would be better on a steeper track.
Well, I'll do my best. Basically, that setup is really good for leaning steering. Like to basically get it to turn well, you have to lean the bike, and it looked like Enduro, and it's like very stable in a straight line. I mean, that's the basis of it. I mean, you rode Enduro. Does it have like a ton of, I guess, corners where you need like janky corners, I guess, or are you able to just like hammer down it?
No, you're just like, I think it would be interesting to be like to see the minimum speed like in the slowest corner there. Just and I bet it's fast. Like
yeah, so like that's the thing is like it seems like a lot of the direction changes there, you either have support or it's not the type where it's fighting for grip. Like why I don't think it's good and it's steep is like I've messed around with the high bar thing like actually a while ago, and in steep stuff it like initially you'd think is really good, but then because like, and this is just my opinion, but when you ride steep stuff, instead of like you want to like crouch down to the bike, like you get low to the bike, and if that's the position that you are going to for better stability and stuff, then like if your bars are high, you end up like looking over the handlebar like is in front of your face, and it's just like it just makes like riding dynamically, which is, you know, like basically letting the bike move beneath you. You kind of actually need your bars a little bit lower so that when the bike comes up to you, it just works better. Like if you start with a really like the tall bar setup, you have to like stand up tall, which feels sick, especially on like that. So like on a flatter track, it's sick because it forces you to stand up and like puts a lot of leverage into the bike and whatnot. And then, yeah, like on steep stuff, it's tough to actually, I think it's tough to ride a taller bar. It's because like as soon as you get tired, this is the other thing is like if you can manage to like stand up tall and maintain that, it works. But then as soon as you know, most people do get tired. Obviously, these are professional athletes, but I bet they even get tired too. Like you start to get kind of lower and lower, and then the bars get higher and higher, and they're already high to begin with. So it's just kind of two things working against you, I think.
Yeah, it looks to me like that setup is kind of like the extreme case of like steering through your feet. And like a track like Enduro seems like a track where you can get away with steering through your feet, but like those moments that you were talking about, that maybe like the classic jank is like a moment where maybe you want to steer through your hands. Like you have to kind of force the front end grip.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think with mountain bikes, it's like, yeah, there's all these moto comparisons and stuff, and I think this is where the speed thing is really important. It's like, there's this vague transition at a certain speed, and it's not like a point, but it's like a vague, you cross a plane at some point where you have to put steering input into the bike. And like, even in faster corners, like if you're saving something, it's like a lever to pull that works. Like, it's like we ideally, like I love to lean the bike to steer, but at a certain point, sometimes you need to steer the bike. And I think that's uniquely a mountain bike thing. Like that's not a thing to relate to dirt bikes because the use case is so different. Like I think that comparison is like so overplayed. Like I'm a little tired of hearing about that. But
there's some parallels.
There's like some parallels, but like I think fundamentally it's a lot different. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is that my experience with the be more style stem, especially behind the steer, is it's like in the slow speed stuff, there's a lack of like confidence and feel, and ultimately it's just too twitchy. So that's why I think Andorra was a really good fit is because, yeah, you're slamming into stuff and it's so high speed that like the twitchiness, it like negates the twitchiness. But as soon as you're like picking your way through stuff, sometimes it works out so freaking good. But when I was riding trails like back to back to back, like me being able to be like, oh, I can hit this line like guaranteed, and it should be easy once I know what I'm doing. Like I would still be like, I would overcorrect, and like maybe that's where you need to ride it for a year to adjust to playing on a higher sensitivity. But
Yeah,
I think that's like a
I think that's right.
I think that's like a fundamental like challenge to that stem. And I think that kind of relates to like why Andorra is actually like a really good setup. And then there's the whole like being dynamic and arm travel and like generating speed. Andorra, you don't generate speed. You just maintain it from top to bottom and then slam into shit. Like,
yeah, I think that arm travel point is a good point, because I mean I think like the whole tall bar setup, like you just have less body travel in general, and so on a track that's like that requires that full like extension and compression, then like if you don't have as much travel in your body,
kind of the image that sticks out from Reece is it was like on the Leogang motorway, and
Doesn't work.
He's literally just like bouncing on the shock. To pump a bike, you need to be able to like initiate your body weight forward and then like drive back. But
yeah,
I think like that's really like, I think Reece is good enough to manage the like steering stuff. Like for me personally, I don't think it's like an advantage necessarily, but I think Reece is good enough and he's been riding it long enough where he can handle it. But I think when you're talking about like the top one or like squeezing out like 0.5% of the run, you're limiting yourself from like a body leverage, like the mechanics perspective. And really, if you look at that run, Jordan's run that won Andorra, it's like, it's that type of shit that won him that race. Like him driving off of that pocket, fucking pumping the shit out of that. And then like that was all like body travel shit.
Yeah.
And like,
it's like athleticism, you know?
Yeah.
Like being able to like put that athleticism into your bike and not just be a passenger. And I think, this season's been a really good example of that being like the defining factor. And like almost every winning run is like, it's like they're able to just kind of open up and like let it, you know, like Amory style, just like be an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like, I don't know. I kind of agree with what you're saying. Like Finn's run in Lenzerheide, example of that. Like he just was like working the track harder almost. So I think that's just like a changing of the times, as well. But, I don't know. Reece's line choice in Andorra, like up top, was really good. I did like a line comparison between him and Asa, which we can talk about Asa next. But like ultimately, like Reece still does have that, I think, X factor of like he has like a higher like line sense in a way.
Was the entry line into the trees?
Oh, dude.
I think that line, like that stem setup, almost helps with stuff like that weirdly, because the front wheel's like so far away from you. You could like cut up. It like works in some areas and not others. But that was one where I was like, I think that actually kind of helped there.
I mean, dude,
because it does that crazy cut,
and
he like, it's weird.
He's playing on high sensitivity.
For sure.
Dude, he did like 3 little wiggles to go. Like, dude, I've ridden that track. Like, I've looked at that line. I've stood in that section. Like, when people even did that line, and it's just like, dude, the margins there at race pace are insane, dude.
Like on the feed, it looked like, why aren't more people doing it? But then you watch the GoPro, and it's like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, I think Reece has got a good thing going. I respect what he's done, but I still have reservations about the bike setup. And I guess like I'm still interested to see like track to track, like how he does and like how he looks on the bike and stuff. Like, and I guess
Yeah.
we're all better for it because it's exactly what you said. It's like a continuing, like very interesting storyline throughout the entire season. Like regardless of what's happening in the race, I'm like, what's up with Reece? Like,
Yeah. Well, we'll see how he goes on the Canadian tracks. That'll be interesting, and like two very different tracks too. Like, I mean, if I had to put money down, I would say that would be a gnarly bike to ride on 1199 and a better bike for MSA.
Is Mount St. Anne still a thing?
Maybe it isn't.
I don't think it is,
dude. I think it's Lake Placid and
Lake Placid,
1199.
I could see that setup being sick in Mount St. Anne.
Yeah, right.
I think
if it was on,
but honestly, like if Lake Placid is like anything it was last year,
it could be sick there too.
It could be sick, but I don't know.
This is jank, man.
Like, dude, I just think I actually maybe in the bottom motorway once it gets up to speed, but the top with it being so loose, like I don't think that. I mean, maybe Enduro is an example, but it's kind of different because I feel like everything has support. But just with how powdery it is, like I think the riding that thing in loose dirt heightens the sensitivity compromise because it's like it's easy to like you steer too much and then it cuts a little bit and then you're washing. Like an oversteer translates into a front wash like way quicker on loose shit. Like if you have firm ground, it almost like fights you from oversteering a little bit. But if it's loose, it'll just allow you to like the bars to go wherever you want. And then you're just in a front wash.
I mean, that setup, at least from the little bit of ride, it forces you to really steer with the rear.
Yeah.
Because it puts, which like I rode one loose corner with the setup like that recently. It was so sick because you just like the front's just like kind of there and you just bury the back through the corner and it's sick. But yeah, if it has support, it's really good. But yeah, like I feel like Placid maybe looked a little not super supportive. So if you bury it, that could be not good. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah,
I feel like the defining characteristic of Placid last year was like the body travel thing. Like there's so many just awkward boulders that you have to like pump, almost like a pump track that's super rough. And riders that are very good on that style of trails succeeded in Lake Placid last year. So we'll see if it like Luke Myersmith. I know he rides a lot in Tasmania, and it looked like a lot like those Tasmania trails, kind of like Derby.
Luke Myersmith posts. He's just got like a good GoPro angle, and he fucking hauls ass. Like,
I agree.
Watching his GoPro runs this year, it's been sick. Like even like random trails in Tasmania that he's putting race runs down. I'm just like, holy shit, dog! This dude is hauling ass. Let's move on. Let's talk about some of the Frameworks riders and this whole body arm travel topic. Nick, it's something we've talked about, but what do you make of Aaron Gwin's efforts this year?
I know what you're queuing. I want him to try a 5 mil shorter headset. Watching him ride, it's like it's so close, but there's instances like in that Enduro run. Obviously, I have no grounds to like give Aaron Gwin advice on bike setup, but just from observing, there's instances where it's like the bike just and also actually at Nationals in that whoop, there's that whoop clip where he had like the sickest save ever. But like to me, watching that, it was like the bike just slightly got away from him, and then obviously he's very good and saves it, and it was like one of the coolest things ever. But I feel like that was potentially happened because he just was like ever so slightly behind the front wheel. And in his Enduro run, you could see it too. There were like instances of like just the front would like knife that extra little bit, and like from experience, like I've had that one. If a bike is slightly too big, like you can overcome it, but then when you try to push, and this is like we're in the middle of doing the e-bike shootout thing and riding a couple different bikes. There was one that I would like felt good to go fast, and then at a certain point, I would have like these ever so slight little knifey things, and it's that the reach is like a little bit longer than obviously because it's riding the same trails. Getting on a slightly smaller bike, like that stuff doesn't happen. So Yeah, that would be the one thing. Is I think as Nico always said, I think the potential's there. You know? I think the potential's there. I think
this guy's got some potential.
Yeah, I think it's all still there, and it's just a matter of him putting it together and finding like that optimal fit. And to me, just as a armchair quarterback watching, that would be the only thing that I could remotely point to. That even in his race run at the Nationals, there was like one corner where it like he had a little bit of like extra knife, and it was like ooh. And I think that was just like it's that little like if he brings that front wheel a little bit closer to him, it's just that I mean maybe that's it,
Because you're talking like oversteer knife.
Yeah, well, it's like oversteer correct, and then like or it like washes, and then because it's washed, I don't know, you have to like catch it and bring it back. It's just like a little bit of an extra.
Yeah.
It's
extra
or like
movement,
you're
extra
cornering
distance.
and it starts to run, and then you have to like pull it back.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like he's good enough that he doesn't need the stability that the front center gives. Just get the balance a little better, and I feel like he crushed on bikes that weren't even that big.
That's what I was going to say. Like, what reach number is he working with now compared to when he was winning in 2016, for example?
It's probably 20 mil bigger.
At least.
Like those YTs
at least, yeah.
Like those YTs are probably like 460, 455. The Frameworks is like, what, 480?
Yeah, I mean, probably. Is he not running a reach adjust back?
I don't. And also, wait, in the what was that? The crest line, he had the reach adjust backwards, right?
Yeah.
So like, and to me, the fit on that bike, he looked good. Like fit wise, looked good.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I mean, I think like going back to the like being dynamic on the bike. I think if you really like, especially back in the day, like that's just where. I mean, Gwin crushed it everywhere, but I feel like that's like one of his superpowers. And like you see that every once in a while. Like I think at Lake Placid last year, he was doing like some gaps and like pump gaps and shit. That like he was the first person doing that, and one of the only ones that like made it look good.
Didn't he build that track too?
Yeah. So. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like for Gwin, having a bike that you can do that sort of stuff on is like really important. And I don't know. I kind of see what you're saying there.
I mean, it's super nuanced, and it's not like super obvious, but that's just the one thing that when I watch, I'm like, ooh, that was like, and that matters at that level. I think is like. Everything needs to be like basically as perfect as it can be because the level is so damn high that like back in the day he could probably get away with that, but
maybe Nico needs to build him his own front triangle 470 reach.
Yeah, get him that 475 front triangle 470. Yeah. I don't know. I just
because I think it's a 480. Because also I bet that bike has like a bigger stack than like anything else he's been on. So like that's different as well, and like
a low BB. Right?
Yeah. So it's like even that could be affecting things too with like ultimately like how big the bike is in the front.
And I think the man likes his wide handlebars. So like
that is true.
That in combination with like it just like
you're taking like 5 mils out here, there, and then like when you're really pushing like that one moment that you get like fully extended is like what like that moment you lose control. And like I don't know. I maybe haven't had like as nuanced of a view on that, but like I've definitely seen him go that route before, like when he was on Intense before they started the prototype project and he was on the M29. Like the sizing on that bike was messed up and he was either on a bike that was way too small or way too big. And he rode the way too big one for a while. And like, it's like the extreme case of what you're talking about. And I remember I was at National Champs at Big Bear, like watching him ride. And I'm just like, dude, this bike is huge. Cause you could visibly see him like lock out his arms. And then that like nerfed the Gwin factor like significantly.
Well, like it happens and you just get like yanked and taken for a ride. And like, that's not fun.
Yeah. But I mean, kind of like Jackson, it's just like you watch him ride and he still has like that thing that makes him, I don't know, like that thing that won him so many races. Like
it's
yeah.
there.
it's like one of
I'm
he's like
rooting
one of
for him.
the sickest styles to watch on a bike. I would like contrast him to Ronan Dunn a little bit. Like the things Ronan does to like go World Cup race winning speed like look terrifying, and the things that Aaron Gwin does to go like race winning speed like look sick, and like just like style cat.
I wonder how many current riders were racing when Sam Hill was racing. Like Gwin might be like one. Like he's still like he's like the most current,
Dude,
like call it old school ish rider. Like he still raced 26-inch wheels. Like who
That
else?
is true. That's like a valid
it's
point.
Sick.
How many riders raced 26-inch wheels?
That's a good point.
Probably
it's
not
gotta
many.
be a
Like it's
single-handed number of people.
Danny Hart.
Yeah.
Aaron
But
Gwin.
Danny was racing before Gwin was. That's what's crazy.
We got to talk about Danny Hart. Danny Hart might be the next one on the list.
Well, I feel like we got to do Asa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think all the Patriots out there are rooting for Gwin, and like obviously like all of the three of us grew up in the Gwin era, and that's like he's the GOAT.
To be clear, I want to see him succeed. I believe he can. And like the whole like bike sizing thing is that's just like me as an observer, but I think that I mean maybe what if that was it? Shorter reach, he just podiums. You're like, what's up?
You should send him an email.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be like, yeah, dude, you know what you're talking about for sure.
Oh yeah. You're
No,
vetted.
I agree. Like, huge Gwin supporter. And I think, I mean, it seems like if you look close enough at like a race weekend as a whole, like he's had split times or like little nuggets that point to like he has that pace. And I think it's kind of like the classic, like, oh, just haven't put it together yet. But I mean, I think there's validity to that like it's just, it's going to take like one or two race runs. Hopefully it just clicks.
He's out there at Camp Condro, just
he is
one with the land. The American way.
We got our Team Norco representative on the Gwin program. So
just training him.
Yeah, I have faith.
Yeah, Brokeback Mountain up there.
What's that?
Never mind. All things considered, that frameworks program seems pretty mad chill. Like I think you take the optics of the frameworks and then the optics of Syndicate, and like I don't think they could be farther apart. And like, on paper, I don't know. I don't think Asa's done that much better. No, I guess Asa's doing well in the overall, but like, Asa won the first race, but it just doesn't seem like a big deal. It seems like he's chilling.
Dude, if I could go racing for any team, it's frameworks 100%. Like,
got to use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, we pissed. What about Asa Vermette?
Back. The kid is just absolutely shredding, like having fun, kind of doing it for the people. It was sick to see him win the first race in Korea, and like I honestly think that's all he's got to do. Like
his season,
win the first race, and then you're good. You're good, dude. Just chill.
Yeah, as a bike racer, you need to just win.
I think what's kind of cool is, we were talking about frameworks. I think his team agrees, like at a certain level. Like obviously they're pushing for the wins, but Nico's like, bro, you're good, dude. Like, I think, I don't know, the vibe there and just like the expectations and everything. I think they're like guiding his career with the long run in mind. And I think it's okay that, I mean, he's just continuing to learn this year. Like that's the point. And it's like, if he wins another race, cool. But I mean, it doesn't seem like it's stressing anyone else out. Like the whole team doesn't seem that stressed about it. It's like they're going for it, but it's not like it's this big thing.
Yeah, I mean, he was on like pretty nuclear pace for a minute there, and then I think was it Leo Gang?
Mm-hmm.
That generational slam.
Yep.
Honestly, like a pretty lucky break on that jump, but like I feel like that was like, and like as a young rider, I feel like he did a really good job taking that in stride and being like, okay, I gotta chill out.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that he wasn't going to like win the next race. It just like needed to get down.
Totally. And like, but Ludenville, I think he went around a gate, right? Like that just seemed like bad luck. Like he was on pace.
Without his bike. That was so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
When he got
Right.
ejected down. Yeah. That's the thing with Ludenville that I don't think like is easy to see, but is how damn steep that hillside is. And if you crash, you're going for a ride.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like Sleeper, one of the nastiest tracks on the circuit. It was like, I think I was up at Hot Laps when we watched the live, and it was like, I think we counted 10 riders in a row that crashed.
Oh, yeah. Like, very few people put down clean runs, yeah.
So, hard place to ride.
And no one got, like, majorly hurt, right? I mean, I'm sure they in practice, but at least in the race runs, crashing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of, honestly, knock on wood, I can't think of anyone who's gotten hurt in a race run this year, really. Doesn't happen as much.
Good point. Yeah. I mean, people have definitely gotten injured.
For sure.
Healing vibes.
People get smoked in their Q1, Q2s, but...
Yeah, totally.
I feel like if you've made it through to finals, I don't know, for some reason, it seems like people are like, not fumbling too hard. Yeah. Emery had a bit of a fumble in Enduro. That one could have been pretty bad.
Dude, that was crazy.
That one was not.
That was the worst one we've seen for sure.
Yeah.
And Asa's, but like, both lucky.
Yeah.
They got the airbag tech.
Smart.
I'd like that. But on Asa, like I've really studied like a handful of this dude's race runs, and I think he's so freaking good that it's like that his skill shines through. But I think there's like a level of like line choice and approach like that I think would make his life easier and not have to use like such a high skill level on the bike, like taking a little bit better line setups and like I think maybe planning his race runs a little bit. But I also think like him riding a bit more free is kind of what is like making the whole thing work right now. And like, I think those details will come in time. But like, if I were to like really critique his riding and like comparing his GoPro runs to like Amory, and even some other riders, like it seems like they're on a bit of like a higher level of approach and line choice. And like often like a common theme is that Asa will like miss a setup by like, a few tire widths, or like it's just like consistently like a little bit further inside, like not on like the freemium ideal line. And then he makes himself his life a little bit harder, but he has the skill level to like pull it off and like do more turning in one place or get the job done. But I think like there's a level of like refinement. Like when when like him and his team like really go back into the race runs, there's meat on the bone there to improve on. And I mean, I think it's just like he's a first year elite. Yeah. And I think what
a good place to be.
Yeah. But like
he'll mature into that for sure. Yeah. And don't rush it. But I think like an interesting comparison is like just like, mapping those top juniors into elite this year, and like the Allren brothers, especially like Till Allren, he's kind of like the line choice king.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why Ace is maybe having a bit more success in elites is because of that like wildness.
Yeah, he's not caring as much. He's like riding to his like potential.
Just riding.
Yeah, he's just
out there doing his thing.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter if he's not on the good setup. He's still gonna rail the turn.
No overthinking.
No matter
just
what.
Out there riding.
Yeah, I think the ceiling is really high for that type of situation that Ace is in. Whereas like, for example, for the Allren brothers, like if they're already super dialed and like what they need to gain is that like raw aggression and like wildness, that is a tough place to be.
That's a good point. I feel like that's a harder thing to find than like dialing in lines a little bit more. Like that's a much easier problem to solve if you're already having like a good amount of success and having fun doing it than being like, oh, I need to like recalibrate my whole mental approach to racing to find this like mental zone to just let loose in my race runs. Like that's a big ask, actually.
Yeah, I mean, and like him being on the team with Gwin is like one of the best people that he could probably be, mentored by for like setup and line choice and just being dialed. So I start to see that come together. See where it ends up.
Yep. I mean, it's interesting because like Asa raced Jackson on that Crankworks track, but like Asa got there a day late and stuff. True. His practice wasn't super. Did he get second?
He was up there.
So. Yeah,
but I don't think he got second. I think maybe one of the Jewett brothers got second.
Yeah.
I don't think he was taking it remotely seriously. I think he was just like, I'm here to see the track, experience the track, not hurt myself.
Yeah.
Money's not on the line this weekend.
Totally. I mean, and you would have to assume that Jackson got like 500 runs on that track over the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So. I mean, isn't that track not open?
I think it's
all
closed,
the
time? But like he would have raced it at any opportunity there was to race it. So, yeah. Anyway, but yeah. Frameworks and Asa, just like that whole program. We can touch on Anna Newkirk too. I think that's also an interesting story there. But yeah, like I think having those people around you, especially as like an American rider, I mean, just having a little bit of insight into like Dylan's experience and Dakota, like racing for foreign teams, like I think that's a huge deal, honestly. Like to have people like speaking a different language at dinner, and then it's like clearly going to cause issues in communication, like somewhere down the line, like having different cultures. And like, I feel like that's like a sleeper suck of energy, like constantly. But to have,
I mean, you want to feel like at home ultimately.
Like, to have like Nico and Aaron and like mostly an all US based staff, I think especially for a young rider going over to Europe and stuff, like everything else with frameworks is like super relevant and good. But I think for Asa, like especially like if you contrast that with showing up on like a fully French team, like I just think that's like actually pretty important.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it easier, I think, just to be in an environment that's way more familiar. You're having to learn less things.
Yeah, like the French language.
Even just culture, too.
Baguette culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, this podcast and the Frameworks team actually share a sponsor. It's the Bill of Rights. Yeah.
And George Washington.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. One thing I want to touch on with the Frameworks thing is like it's tangential, but like Angel Suarez. Kind of killing it on his own privateer program. Like I think that's aside from Reese's program, like I mean Angel's like the only one I can think of who's full on privateer. Has like left a big program, left Frameworks, which was already seems like a pretty good setup for him, but doing his own thing and like finding success, which is cool.
I mean he's that good too. Like he just needed a bike, That dude is super good. He's like always been there too. It's just like he's another one of those like just needs to like have a little bit of luck and have things go his way. I think.
He's on alt parts. He's on EXT, and like it's like that's the other thing is Reese is on a Manitou.
He is on a Manitou,
which I've never ridden a Manitou. I can't speak personally to it, but like. I'm certain that having a Fox or a RockShox product at a World Cup race is like a major advantage. Just from a support perspective, I'm not going to speak about the actual hardware, but like that's crazy. That's crazy.
What is the Manitou?
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. It's good to see people riding alt suspension and like it performing well enough to get a podium at a World Cup.
Yeah, I mean. On a very basic level, I mean, Reece it's a known thing at this point. He's like, yeah, the reason why my bars look so high is because our fork isn't long enough. Like, it's like a very basic, spec thing that isn't maybe where it should be. so they're having to compensate for it. But yeah, they're making it work. And yeah, I mean, I saw that Angel was testing like the new demo in this break, so he might switch bikes mid-season, which would be kind of nuts.
That'd be legendary.
It'd be sick. Like, if he switches bikes and then has a result like on 2 different bikes in 1 year, that would be pretty sick. And he's posted some bike testing content over the off season that I think was pretty well done, and it was interesting to hear his take.
Yeah.
And, like, he tested out like the V10, the Mondraker, and the Commensal, and I think he chose the V10 in the end. The feedback I've heard from he's sponsored by Aventon, which is crazy. That's like another side tangent, is Aventon sponsoring Angel and him running.
Oh, I thought that was a joke.
Aventon.
Yeah, it's the V10, but it's the Aventon.
Oh yeah, yeah, sick. Just take the motor out of that thing and run it.
I've got one in the garage. It's good. I don't know if it's World Cup good though. I was gonna go on some tangent there, but I kind of forget where I was going.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have to talk about the most trad topic in mountain biking, which is Specialized.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna say. Is everyone who's ridden the Demo 11 like outside of the Specialized umbrella says it's really good? And
yeah, I mean,
I could see that.
Didn't Colton just get? He got a demo.
He
riding a demo.
He got a loaner one. He's not on the drip just yet, but
yeah. Colton the frameworks for 2027.
Dude, could be a good fit. Honestly, yeah. Getting another Enduro championship under the frameworks, or like a national championships under the frameworks. Then you go. We make some phone. You can make some phone calls. But yeah, let's touch on the Specialized riders. I mean, probably the 2 next most relevant people on the World Cup circuit is Jordan Williams, Finn, 2 wins each. What's your guys' take on the rise of Specialized Gravity sans Loic Bruni?
Well, it's like Game of Thrones, you know. It's like the Iron Throne is vacant. It causes it lights a fire under all the all the potential occupants, and that fire's lit.
Watched a single episode of that, so I don't.
Oh. You can use your imagination.
Your reference, it's okay.
There's a vacant throne, and people want it.
Vacant throne,
cool.
And I think that like probably lends, more power than people give it credit for. Like, I think that's I don't know. I can imagine the internal team dynamics is like you're on a team with Loic. It's like that's a tough one. Just because he's like he's gunning for the win every time. Like he's gonna be kind of like he's gonna be mogging you. And so if there's space to mog, then like
he will mog.
Little dog's gonna eat, And I think it's sick that like both Finn and Jordan have had their time in the spotlight. They're honestly like kind of comparable styles. It seems like from kind of watching them, like very similar. I mean, Finn's an absolute brute. He's probably got like 15, 20 pounds on Jordan, but like all things considered, similar enough.
We need a weigh-in. Can Specialized facilitate a weigh-in?
Yeah, we need a weigh-in. But yes, I mean, just what a sick story. Like both of them being able to win the race is just so crazy. Because like Finn coming out and just winning 2, I'm like, damn, yeah, Jordan's he's fucked. But then the roles have reversed, and now it's even Stevens. We'll see where it goes. It's my 2 cents.
Sorry.
I think what's interesting is like, how does next year look? That's getting ahead of myself, but yeah, I mean, it's clearly that bike works well, and then you have good riders on a good bike, and that's a formula. It's not rocket science. I mean, it's interesting though. Is I think like Finn had a bad year last year because of injuries, right? And I think Jordan had he's still been like, did he do his knee last year or the year before?
I don't know.
Like he had a knee injury at some point, and it's like one of those things where, I mean, he won his first race, like first elite, right?
Yeah.
Was that his first?
Maybe.
Go on. I'm going to Roots and Rain.
I'm on Roots
Jamie.
and Rain.
Jamie.
Yeah, he won Lenzerheide. That was his first.
2024, right?
23.
23.
Yeah,
Was that
he won his first Elite World Cup race.
Yeah.
But was that the first race of
Yes.
that season?
Yes.
Wait.
It was the first.
Yeah, Lenzerheide DH1. He won. So, and it's like this happens with, other riders too. Is it's like you have an injury and then like people, I think, forget it. Like you're out there racing because you're like recovered, but you're not back to like full capacity. And like, there's lots of injuries that like, yeah, you can go ride and you can race, but like in terms of being at your best, it's going to take time to get there again. And I think that's what we're seeing is it's almost like he got hurt and he's been like recovering and like getting back to full strength. And then like Finn was like in the same boat. And then now they're both it's like at the same time, both got healthy and dialed again. And then Loic goes up. Like, it's just, it's wild.
Yeah. It's sick, dude. It's like, it's almost as if someone's pulling the strings.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
But like, the other thing is like, even if Loic was there, like, I think they would all be, man, that would be a gnarly team environment.
It kind of would suck, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it'd be good.
It's like one of those things where it is a team sport, but it's also heavily individual. So how that would be wild. Like you have like 3 dudes who code
three number ones is stacked. Like
kind of like what Syndicate was like years ago in like the 2010s.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about like with Loic gone, the resource pool is like being allocated to 2 riders, or two riders in men's elite, as opposed to 3. And like I'm sure Loic, if you had to probably guess, like would get more resources than the other 2.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that has like a factor.
He's kind of like in it, like him and his mechanic. Like it seems like in that team, it's like there's the rider and their mechanic, and they're like a team within the team. And I don't know how much information they actually. Obviously, I have no fucking clue, but I don't know. Like I don't think it's like open book. Like here's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think it was spoken about on some podcasts, but I think what you're saying is like closer to what it actually happens. Like I don't think it's like I don't think Loic's mechanic is like really sharing settings and stuff with everyone else. Like, and I think they're all on like pretty different setups. Like each of those bikes is in their own direction, and I think that's kind of cool. Like I don't think Finn and Jordan are enemies, but I don't think they're super homies. Like,
well, they want to win.
Like I don't think there's like, I think there's like a healthy competitiveness there that I think will make the story a little bit more interesting than if they were like homies,
Yeah. I think like kind of where my head goes with this whole specialized team thing is like 3 top tier riders. I don't know who is up for contract renewal, and like I know the mountain bike industry is like generating less revenue than it has in the past. So I'm curious where that will go at the end of the season. Like, will there be space for all 3 of them on Specialized moving forward, or will that kind of like shuffle the cards a bit? I would guess it's going to shuffle the cards, and I'm curious like how it's going to pan out.
Like, it's not very like if I was a rider on the team and like Loic was coming back and say at the end of the season, it's like, oh yeah, we're all 3 of us are going to be dogs. Like, would you really want to go on a team with 3 top level riders? I don't know. As opposed to like be where you could easily get shuffled to the number 3 spot if you have like a few bad results, or maybe go somewhere else where it's like you're the top dog and you're going to be the top dog. Like, I don't know. It would be something I would consider. Yeah. I guess going forward, like who do you have more faith in, or like how do you like compare Jordan and Finn kind of going into the rest of the season?
I have no fucking clue, man. I mean, Finn's always been like such a good rider, but I feel like he's never been able to race to that potential. Like Finn has been like a prodigy since like we were kids, I remember like, him winning whip offs when we were in high school. And I think he's like 1 year younger than I am, and I was like, damn, that kid's just ripping when he's 14 years old or whatever. So like seeing him come into form and win races like isn't a surprise. However, I think it's like, it's been a long time coming. And Jordan, has kind of always been a bit of a sleeper and kind of like fallen, second row to maybe the stardom of Loic and Finn. And like the underdog story is so sick. And I think Jordan, like when an underdog has like a fire lit, that is just like such a good place to be. And like, that guy loves the dry, dusty conditions. Seems like Lake Placid would suit him pretty well. That 1199 track, as you said, like Finn probably has a lot of time on that track too, and we'll see how that shakes out.
Yep.
And there's Leger. I was looking at what's left.
Yeah. Leger, oh yeah.
And
I'm pulling up to Leger, so
really,
we'll get.
When isn't that like soon?
That's
It's in like
weekend.
a week. Yeah.
You're going across the pond.
Yeah. Not next weekend, but
It's
like
2 weeks.
the weekend after. Yeah, as far as Jordan and Finn go, like I have more faith in Jordan, and I think that comes back to here, like how he's talking in some of these interviews. Like he said he had like a major mindset switch this year. I feel like he's like more in like the Asa mindset now. Like it sounded like he tried being like the gnarly professional athlete, like squeezing each percent out of everything to like be this gnarly like top level athlete, and just like carrying the weight of that like in day to day,
sucking all the fun out of it.
Yeah, and I think he said he had like a more mellow off season this year, and like just had more of a focus on like enjoying it and like trusting himself. And
yeah,
I think he's really stoked on these wins. Like obviously, like it's a huge deal for him, but it doesn't seem like if you contrast it to some of the interviews I've heard from Finn, it's like in La Tuile and Andorra, like he was super taxed, like, and like understandably so. But like if you have, I think with Jordan, like if you have like a more grounded perspective and mindset, and like I think I trust that more. And even and separate from that, like his bike setup and his riding style, I think is more forgiving on a wider range of tracks. Like,
yeah, I think that's why he likes the dry so much too. So he runs a pretty forgiving, flexible setup.
Yeah.
And I also don't think you can like ignore that he's super young, like he's what is he, like 21, 22 years old?
Mm-hmm.
And like Finn is probably 27 and Loic is like 50. So you can't ignore
maybe
the
30, dude.
Yeah. Dude, no, Loic's older. I think he's.
I'm a fucking fossil then.
No, he's Loic's. I think Loic's older than you, Nick. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
Not. I think he's like 30.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure he's younger.
I would guess he's like 33.
He's 32.
I got him. I got him by a year.
Damn, it's always like funny, like I don't know, that I feel like you look up to these professional athletes sometimes, like Ken Roxon and Loic Bruni and stuff. And
your age.
It feels like they're like just older for some reason, and then you look it up and it's like, oh, I'm the same age as this dude. Damn.
Relatively speaking. Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fine, but just that's a side note. But what are you saying? So Jordan's young, huh?
Yeah, and like there's a lot more. There's a lot
too,
higher. I'm hella old. Yeah, you're right.
Apparently,
getting old. But yeah, no, just like the ceiling's higher for a young rider, and like like you've seen what Jackson did in the sport. It's just like less time behind you makes your future less predictable. And I think that's like it's good to bet on a young rider for sure.
Jordan to me seems like the most trustworthy person for this overall. And
what's the standings right now?
So I got them pulled up.
Yeah, I got them up too. It's pretty close.
Jordan Williams 874, Finn Isles 811, Asa Vermette 750. So like all pretty close, honestly. Omri's has 737.
Dude, if he can just figure it out.
So like, dude, he's in reach too. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
he could have like he could just turn it on and it would just be, I think he could also run away with it.
I mean, dude, the fact that Omri is in fourth right now with the season he's had is nuts.
Yeah.
I'll say he's my sleeper title pick.
Yeah.
You got Leger. He's pretty good there.
If he can make it down, dude. Like,
obviously, that's like been his entire career, is if he can make it down. Maybe he needs to not try to win by 5 seconds.
Yeah, because
I don't know. Go for the 1 second win, dude. But I don't think he knows how. He's just like wide open from start to finish.
Didn't he crash? He crashed in Leger last year on like a winning run, right?
Probably
in the wet.
Did he crash?
Yeah.
Yeah, he like ass slid, right? That whole thing got up and like still, yeah, he did like a long.
This is like the new Omri MO, is just be on like a generational run, crash, and like still get like a decent result.
I mean, that first race he crashed late on the ground and still podiumed, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and didn't he crash it? I think he crashed at Placid last year too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
So like, he just clean it up, and he could sweep out if it's possible.
Yeah.
And like, all it takes is like one little slip up, and it's like bam, like it can change so quick. So
yeah, I think if he wins Leger, then like it's on. I mean, I think that's the case for any of these riders.
He could smash 1199 too, though.
Yeah, I mean that's
seems like a recipe for disaster. No, I don't know. Just a lot of places for that to go wrong.
For sure. But he also like, if it gets wet, he could just magic his way down that.
He's the most trustworthy, honestly, wet rider.
That's a good point. Like, we haven't really had wet races this year.
Gnarly mudder this year,
and he always tends to turn it on in the mud. I was gonna say that, yeah. Like, so condition dependent on the future.
Yeah. Like Leger could be a mudder.
Could be.
Very well could be.
But this El Nino, man, it's really getting things down.
Is that why it's all dry right now, and then we're going to get hammered with
rain? Super El Nino.
It's pretty dry.
It rained out here yesterday, but it was super dry before that. It dumped rain on me. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Rained up in Whistler, too, which was neat, but it was like very dry when I got there. Like, it hadn't rained in a month or two. So...
I mean, shit, Asa could win too if he just keeps it like within. Imagine if he won the overall rookie season, like with.
Be cool.
And he, it's like everyone's had kind of like not good races too. I think, like round one, both Specialized guys got flats. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that going back to Jordan, like you kind of only like find these. Like this perspective, like once he's done good, but then you go back to the races where he didn't, and there's like usually a reason why.
For sure.
Like you look back and it's like this dude actually had the pace all season.
I do feel like he has good variety of like performances on tracks.
Yeah.
Whereas like even was it Latwil? There's one race where Finn just did not look comfortable, and then in the Win TV, he's like, yeah, these conditions I don't like.
Latwil.
And I respect the hell out of like being honest with that, being like, yeah, this is not my cup of tea, and I'm not going to go bug splatter myself trying to make it happen.
or like blame the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. Well, okay, I think we could talk about every person in Elites. There's some story going on, but I think
many storylines, so little time.
One of the topic I wanted to touch on is the Norco team, and somewhat specifically Danny Hart. This is interesting to me because this is like one of the most high budget teams on the circuit, I think, at this point, and like with Greg Minnar involved, the Syndicate girl,
Adidas. maybe the
Yeah.
most. So
Kathy Sessler.
Yeah, Kathy Sessler, Adidas, like kind of one of the more high profile teams.
yeah, like
And like
Adidas maybe like the most mainstream sponsor a team has seen in a while.
yeah. And like to be honest, they're kind of underperforming, at least in the elite men's. Like they have that junior girl, Lena Frenner, and I mean Gracie is having a pretty good season. But on the elite men's side, like Bodie is getting up to speed, but like the Danny situation is a little rough. And I think we've all listened to parts of the Danny podcast on the Ride Companion, and I don't know. I have my take on this whole deal, but it's just, to me, it's like an interesting scenario.
You know, team dynamics aside, I think Danny is kind of like one of those legacy riders, like obviously been racing forever. And I think he was really comfortable in the old format of downhill racing. And like, I think some of those legacy riders have picked up the new format a little better. But it seems like he's less comfortable with like just jumping into the track right away and having to get up to speed on run one. So that's not even about team dynamics, just about the format. I think that's unfortunate for his style.
Yeah. I mean, the finals that he has gotten into, which I think maybe 1 or 2 this year, he got in Andorra. He was like the first rider down. Yeah, I think he qualified 30th. And you watch him ride, you're like, damn, Danny's hauling ass. But he gets like a solid 25th place or something, like kind of towards the end of the riders that made it down with complete runs. And I guess where I go with this is I think like the profile, like for someone in Danny's position that, I don't know, is kind of in a bit of a performance slump and is like trying to be one of the lead riders on the team. I kind of think this whole Greg Minnar, Adidas, high profile setup is kind of like worst case scenario for like his position. Like I think right now Danny might be doing better out of like an easy up in a van with like a chiller vibe. Cause the whole thing I got out of that Ride Companion podcast is like, dude, having Greg Minnar as a team manager in that position, like I think given that Danny is a legacy rider that raced with Greg, I feel like that is something, there's something there too, where I think, I mean, Greg like has an expectation for Danny for sure. And I mean, I think you can like frame it as like belief in a person, but I think having Greg Minnar that you raced against and won against as your team manager, to me just would feel a bit gnarly. And like he alluded to situations where they would be testing and then Greg would hop on the bike and like lay down a faster time and like mog Danny. It's just like, bro, if your team manager is like mogging you on the bike, that's just a gnarly position to be in, I think.
Yeah, it sucks.
Sure.
And I also think like just personality fit wise, like they're so different. At least like from my perspective, Greg is kind of like a businessman, like very businessy. Very businessy, and Danny's kind of just like a chill dude who is like a really like technically gifted rider and like a just a sick guy. Then I think like another part of that is like being like the style of rider that Danny is. Like I think that these newer tracks are just a little bit like there's a little bit out of his specialization, which was like, you know, it's like Champery 2011, like steep sketch, gnarly technicality, which is just not represented so much on the World Cup these days. Maybe 1199 will be an opportunity to return to the roots of the sport, but we'll see.
Or maybe that GT was a lot better.
Yeah, there's a whole...
Just kidding. No, but seriously, he went so fast on that. It's hilarious. Like, Privateer GT Danny Hart was like X Games mode.
hella fast. I mean,
I think that bike was sleeper really good.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy is like that wasn't that long ago. Like maybe the generation switch and like downhill and like I think the sport has come away a long way since then. But like really, yeah, that era wasn't like that's what got him this ride, essentially.
It was 100%. It was like he put in a super good overall, and they're like, we need points. So there's Danny Hart.
Yeah, true.
We're going to get you points, dude.
But I mean, I think the bike has come a long way. But last year, I mean, I went to like 4 of these World Cup races, and that Norco did not look that good trackside. It made a lot of noise, and it looked hard to ride.
I just don't get how, like,
I don't get it.
They have like a lot of engineers, and like they're dumping money at it. You have Greg Minnar, who knows how to make a good bike. Like,
yeah, I don't know. The bike looks a lot more polished this year, and it's not even fair to make the assertion about a bike, and because it doesn't look bad on track, but like this year. But last year it looked rougher to ride than it should have been, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I would hope and imagine that at this point in time, that with the people involved, you could come up with a quality machine.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just like an interesting
quick break.
Yeah.
Quick break.
Who's this guy?
Get out of here, Nick.
Weak bladder.
Dude, you're getting old, huh? Damn. I don't know. Like I've been kind of like not paying too much attention to the Norco thing, unfortunately. Like it just isn't in front of my face. I've watched some of Danny's YouTube videos, and like he's ripping. They're entertaining.
I think what really like set it off for me, it was the South Korea, because like I think there was a bit of talk about like what teams made the investment to like get full support out there, and I think there were some numbers thrown around for like the shipping and what was involved to do that. And I think I have to go back to look at the results for the whole team, but I think Bodie and Danny didn't qualify for that race, and like maybe Lena Frenner had like an okay result, but I'm like, that's just like a hard, like no matter what, like, and maybe like that set the tone for the year. I mean, no matter what, that's like a tough pill to swallow. Like, and I think at least for me personally, and like seeing how Danny operates, it's like if you're at the top of the sport crushing it, like and you have like the sickest, specialized gravity, maybe put Norco on that level at this point, like that level of pit setup, it's like, I feel like that bolsters your confidence, because like you're mogging everyone, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to get like, but I think there's like a line of like performance and confidence where it's like, if you dip below, like, dude, all that stuff is just telling you that you're not worthy. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like a feedback loop.
It's like a subliminal message that you're not performing. Like, and it's like everywhere you would look in that tent, and like every extra bit of support you get, I don't know. I think like midway through the season where Danny's at, I just have a bit of compassion, honestly, for where he's at, and like with the team setup and the vibe, like I would imagine he's maybe not having the most fun racing his mountain bike right now.
Poor guy.
But that's just the sport. I don't know. I think
yeah,
he'll figure it out.
Does Greg Minnar race again?
Oh, dude. I mean, maybe.
I feel like he wants to. And he probably could.
Probably wants to a little too bad. Gotta lock in.
The dude is. Yeah, I started listening to his Gypsy Tales thing, and it's like, damn, this dude is gnarly. Like, that whole like home race win, like that's just so insane. Like that guy's ability to just, I guess, race a bike incredibly well is just, it's insane.
Well, I think that's a big part of this is from different interviews. I think like listening to Brendog and a few other people, like being on a team with Greg Minnar is kind of gnarly. Like, I think like Josh alluded to it too, but like, he's not the guy that's like sharing lines and like trying to support like the team.
He wants to win.
He's a very, I mean, and it's like, that's respectable. Like that's probably why he had the career that he did. But I think like maybe my critique or what I'm worried about is like, is Greg Minnar able to flip the switch to being team moral support guy, or is he still operating as a competitor to Danny Hart? Because like, dude, if you're hopping on the bike and like laying down a lap time, like from a management perspective, I don't think that's advisable. Like,
it's not ideal. If that's true, that's not ideal.
I mean,
like,
I would see it.
That's like that's like the only thing that really serves is the competitiveness of Greg Minnar, like not the team, you know?
Or a kick in the ass of like, look, dude,
I just don't think that is gonna work though. Like, imagine
depends on the person.
I think it depends on the person, and I don't know if Danny's that person.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like, I think we're
gotta get pissed off, and then
dude, I don't know.
Lets it go, and then he puts down a run like that world's run, you know?
Yeah,
he's gonna fucking have it.
And it was clear in Danny's interview that there was an undertone of conflict with Greg Minnar, like consistently, like with how they train and stuff. Because I'm sure, yeah, it's like if what worked for Greg, you know, he's going to lean on his experience, but Danny's going to lean on his, and it's like they're both valid, you know. So I just see that relationship, like honestly, maybe not producing like the best results for either party. That's my
hypothetically, someone else is there next year. Who is it?
Well, I don't know.
See if Adidas
keeps the cash flowing.
I don't know. I feel like I saw it on Vi. Oh, you don't need to go there.
I mean,
the team rumors.
It's speculation. We can speculate. But the speculation is that Finn's going to go there, right?
Yeah. I could see it. Canadian.
It seems like
Canadian
a good fit. Yeah.
It seems to make sense.
Like what I was alluding to earlier with the financial pressure of Specialized team, like one of them is going to get shoved out. It could be Finn, and Finn would ride for a Canadian brand. That totally makes sense.
I think it'd be a sick fit.
And then where's Danny go, man?
I don't know.
Frameworks.
Everyone's on frameworks.
We give him a citizenship. We get him on the podcast. We read him his rights. Yeah, welcome.
Welcome, bro.
Welcome to the promised land.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like maybe this isn't a valid concern, but Adidas putting money into a program that's well funded, and then there's a lot of optics on that, right? They're using that as marketing material for whatever Adidas makes these days. I don't even really know. But like, if that doesn't pan out, I think that's bad for the industry in general, because like it's a one example of like a big brand taking a risk, putting money into mountain biking, and that return not coming from that investment. So it just makes me nervous. Like, I hope they get a good result, and I hope that like pans out for Adidas and other brands follow suit and put money into mountain biking. So I think that's like in the macrocosm, that's a bit more important, just for the sustainability of this sport we like.
Totally. I think that's valid.
I think that might be one of the biggest problems with the current format. I mean, it's like you have these.
True.
You have these brands and companies putting, a bunch of money into a race team, and then you show up to race, and then you don't race because it's just. My biggest complaint with the current, they need to up the numbers. Like, that's it. Like, go to 40. Like, you need to increase, and then you don't have to show everyone, do like what they used to, is like highlights of the 10 dudes before or 2 dudes or ladies, not trying to be whatever. And then, because it's just, it holds the sport back, I think, in a way. It's like you're trying to create this top heavy thing, but then
it's just
you're shooting sport, yourself in the foot.
Our sport is too variable to like trust that.
And it just doesn't help, because it is going to for sure boost people that are there consistently, but when it's harder to be there consistently,
I think 40 would be the catch-all of like, you're going to get most of everyone every weekend.
Is it 15 women?
Yeah.
It definitely needs to be at least 20.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's
I see it.
good perspective. Like it's the perspective that matters is really like companies like Adidas looking at the sport, and then they're going to look at the Norco race program and it's like, oh wait, what? Like we didn't have an elite men in the finals for 3 races this year. Like that's unacceptable, dude. like that's like not an option. Even if, and yeah, I think like at the bare minimum, it's like you need to be in the show. And I think 10 would catch most of the people in that situation.
I bet, yeah. If you look at like say 30 to 40, there's a lot of people that I think should be in the final. Or
like Joe Breeding would be racing like
consistently. And
yeah. I wonder what specifically led to that decision to cut it to 30. Like I assume that what they were doing is literally just like taking the average time it takes a rider to go down the track and then multiplying that by the maximum number that they could fit into an hour and a half broadcast window or whatever like the consumable format that they want to present is. And like it is simpler to say, hey, it's 30 riders, you watch all of them, and then it's over.
But you don't, though. The broadcast in that regard kind of sucks.
Yeah, in what
like
sense?
It only gets good for like the top 10.
Like this, they show the full runs.
Yeah,
for the top 10.
Say you start watching from 30th place starter. They're so all over the map too. Like some runs, like you randomly start in the middle, like jumps, or you get like 2 shots of that person's run. You get like one of one. It's just it's not the continuity of the run broadcast is not very good. So that argument, to me, is invalid, and you need to just increase the number of people in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, like, have you guys tried to explain the downhill race format to like a plebeian, a civilian?
It's easier than explaining enduro.
That's true.
I don't leave the house.
Yeah,
but like, I've like tried to explain like what's going on to my girlfriend, and it's an effort to be like, oh, there's this Q1, but then they go to Q2, and then that makes the top 30, and then it's like how they're seated and stuff. Like,
confusing.
Well, I'd like to touch on the seating because, like, I think for me, there have been a couple instances where seating, in my opinion, was like sort of done incorrectly. In the sense of like
problem.
Like what they're doing, they're stacking Q1 and then Q2. So like whatever your result is in Q1 is like your seated result or your seated position for the final run. But like there's been numerous instances where like the Q2 top qualifier blew the doors off the Q1 times.
Yeah.
And so then it's like you have the person who's going to win the race going down 21st or whatever the real number is. But it's like, and then it's like, oh, it's like when I watched Finn do a 4-second faster Q2 in whatever track that was, Lenzerheide. I'm like, he's going to win the race. Like, he's probably going to win the race. So he goes down, blows the doors off that time. I'm like, okay, well, so the race is over. And, you know, I think that's a bit problematic. I understand why they did it that way.
It's hugely problematic. It's not a bit problematic because it ruined, like, what makes downhill sick is the build. And when you destroy that with your qualifying order, you just ruin the show before it started in a way.
Yeah. So they should just go by time.
They should do on time.
Qualifying time.
It's like, it's the same day. It's a similar track. Like,
they should put down the time they did, so put them where they should be in the start order.
Yeah.
Those teetotalers over there at Warner Brothers Discovery.
So you don't watch 15 people do red times, and you're like, this is boring.
Yeah. It's just, I think that's the thing. It's like,
it's really boring.
When 10 people in a row go slower from a Q2 hot heater, like that was laid down early, it's like, the commentary gets slow, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I agree. I think like the 2 takeaways here are the seating order and then, the amount of people. Cause I think that legitimately has an effect on like the willingness of like outside sponsors coming in. Like, I think if you like went through the effort of explaining the whole format to like an outside sponsor that isn't endemic to mountain biking, and you went through all that, and then the takeaway was like, oh, what? So you could get a flat tire and not be in the race. And you would be like, yes. And then you'd be like, all right. Like I'm
yes, but we're doing a vlog.
Yeah. But we have a video series.
I swear these guys are really charismatic. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. So I think if I was the checkbook guy, it would be hard to sign like $300,000 or more to like support that.
Support a gamble.
Support a real hard gamble when it's like, and if back to your point, if the current case study is Adidas and there's been some misses there. So
yeah.
Well, allegedly Nike. This was like I don't know if Eddie was joking, but he kept making jokes about it on one of Jack Moyer's videos. He kept making jokes like I think allegedly Nike might want to come
play
in.
ball.
And that'd be pretty sick.
That would be sick.
Just sick.
Because yeah.
Then, I don't know if you guys know any stats on viewership, but I know that like
nothing.
It was bad for a period of time. It's bad after the transition to Warner Brothers, but it's gotten a lot better. And I think it's like
really hard to watch. Like you had to like do research and find it. And, like,
yeah, and
used to be
now
like
I can just use my ex-girlfriend's HBO.
yeah, it's great.
Perfect.
As long as you have HBO, it's epic.
Yeah,
but they did.
But
make,
you have
like,
to have it. They have like a specific subscription.
There's like
right?
Watch UCI now it's like $10 a month, and that's what I use.
It's like fine, it's like
reasonable,
comparable to motocross. It's like, all right, if I want to participate and watch this, it's $10 a month. All right, we can do that. But yeah, anything else in the elite men's field or larger topics?
Are we going to talk about Enduro?
No, yeah, we'll transition.
Going for a 3-hour podcast.
We'll take a liaison over there. We'll do a 10-minute Enduro stage.
I mean, I feel like
it's only fair.
With downhill, we did not mention any
we
women, which is kind of fucked up. But
no, we can touch on it. But I think ultimately, like, yeah, it's okay. We've been ignoring the elite women. However, there hasn't been as many stories going on. I think like Vali's been crushing it.
I think this is the story. It's like
it's Vali dominated.
Vali Hole got on a Commensal and has been cleaning house.
Yeah, and second place riders from cross country.
Yeah,
I think maybe.
But I think like the couple stories are like Lisa Bauman's been like super consistent. She looks solid. Sasha Ernest has like split times and performances that shows she's got legit speed. And then Anna Newkirk like pulled up and won a race.
Pretty sick.
I think that's the biggest story for me in the women's field, being the American Mountain Bike Podcast, is Anna Newkirk checking off a win.
I'm giving Vali the no shit Nick award because it's obvious. Like people used to say, I would say something really obvious, and someone's like, "Yeah, no shit, Nick." So that's why Vali's getting that award. Brian and I actually recorded a preseason podcast that never saw the light of day, and that was like a claim. Is like Vali's gonna dominate, and sure enough, like it's an obvious one. Yeah, like that. I mean, she's done it in the past, and then like obviously last year is kind of a write off and a bunch of issues and whatnot. Then it's like fix all those problems and boom, like back to just.
It's the best bike she's been on by far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that plays a huge factor.
Absolutely, and Lisa Bauman is from cross country. Is this correct? I'm thinking about the right person.
Yeah, I believe so.
Which is kind of baller.
I don't know the full lore, but yeah, that seems to be more of a thing in the women's field, like
transition. Yeah. But it's pretty sick to see that played out in real time. It's like came from XC. She was like, "Oh yeah, I like the descending better. Tried enduro, did well. Tried downhill, did well. Got support, like bootstrapped a career, which is like it's just sick." I think I listened to a Downtime podcast that she was on, or at least part of it, and I was like, respect. Anyway, But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that my only 2 cents on the women's racing in general is like I think they should run the women's racing before the men's
That's what they
all the time.
typically do. And then
Didn't
they
they
changed
didn't
it
they switch it?
for Leo Gang. They changed it because Valley's like local hero, and they
ran it after.
yeah.
Or I guess so. I guess I think that worked better. Maybe like there was some change they did where the women's racing was a bit more like in the limelight, and I think that was constructive. At least for me.
I think that's in general. Once again, back to the level rising. Like the times between them are so much tighter than it used to be, which is like you can just see that's very easy to track progress. You know, like back in the day, they were like Rachel Atherton would win by like 15 seconds.
Yeah,
and then it was like just bigger and bigger gaps, and now it's like the just overall sport is just elevated.
Yeah, I think that's kind of an interesting thing about there's a few Valley's wins that have been by like a tenth or 2/10, like pretty freaking close. And it's easy to be like, oh, that's just chance. But I mean, having some experience in being on one side of a time or another, it's just like if you are that good, it's like if you're gonna win, you're on that side of the time, even if it's like a tenth or less.
Yeah.
But
and then like seems like juniors is pretty uneventful in general. Like last year was like the most sickest junior season ever.
Yeah.
And like comparatively it's super boring. And so I haven't paid any attention except for I know Jaunty is like going fast.
That's all the time. That's all I know is that Jaunty is cleaning house. And if he has a decent run, then he wins. And sometimes throws the nastiest scrub of all time on his way to doing it.
Yeah.
You see
he's on a Yeti.
Yeah.
Well, he was like battling, like he is such gnarly. Like, he was like the younger dude racing against the
he was like
dogs
in the mix. Like I think he's like the remaining player from that title fight last year. Like he was the younger one that really shouldn't have been competitive with those guys. Like what? Mm-hmm. He was maybe barely 17, like or 16 maybe. And
did he win a race last year? I think he won a race potentially.
I don't think so.
Maybe one of them.
I think he maybe podiumed, but I mean, it's kind of like not a surprise that those guys leave, and like he was like the remaining one that was on that level, and like now he's clearly on like another level. So and then like almost similar in the junior women's, it's a little bit more dynamic, but like Aletha is clearly like on that level like as well, and it's almost if she has a good run, it's kind of hers. And but Lena Frenner is kind of this other standout rider that's been showing I feel some like good
those
pace
too. It's like it just depends. Like they're both on a very high level, and like I guess in between that, it's like who puts it better, who puts it together better in that instance.
I mean, Team America is just shaping up to have some heavy hitters. Like once Aletha goes,
it already does.
It already does, but like the future is looking good right now.
And like they have like there's this up and coming podcast that is like absolutely going to change the landscape of American mountain bike media.
Yeah,
so it's all coming together, guys. It's all coming together.
Totally.
One thing about the juniors that I'll say is like at some point last year they decided to take it off of YouTube.
Why?
I think it's because it was too lit. Like last year it was so good that like people would watch that and wouldn't watch the elites because it was like, oh, they already got their fix. This year, put that stuff back on YouTube, man. No one cares. Like, no one be an asshole, but like for real, I think it'd be constructive to put that on YouTube.
I mean,
like it's not doing anything good behind a paywall.
Yeah, I agree. But side note to that is that Q1 and Q2 like need to be presented in some way. Like,
yes,
the fact
it should be like a live stream or something like that. I just like put that up.
there needs to be some, because like that's debatably the most impactful thing of the weekend. You could argue that it's more exciting and more stressful than finals. Like,
Mm.
It's like,
like
do you
this,
get your final run?
the
I don't know.
storylines there and like the tension there is like, I think, like, dude, if you're gonna put this gnarly, cutthroat thing onto the entire sport, but then like neglect to even capture it and present it to people, it's like, bro, the whole sport is like paying a huge cost to having this cutthroat rule. But it's like, oh, we're not going to like show any of the drama or storyline that this has produced. Seems like a huge miss.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's an opportunity for some like independent media entity to pick up the slack there. Brian, when you're over across the pond, I'm expecting a full Q1, Q2 live stream.
Okay. Yep.
From trackside.
It's like even a live stream in the finish arena would, it like, we want there's something better than that, but like that, I would probably watch that.
Or just, I mean, even like someone talking about it, like a day of recap of just like literally could be numbers on a screen. I don't care. Maybe numbers on the screen and like a video, one clip from the track. There's space for it. But anyway, I think everyone's like kind of resource constrained.
Yep.
So just someone's got to do it.
Someone pull up.
Maybe Warner Bros. I bet that, they have money.
Yeah.
I think
they are the broadcasters.
They also got like acquired. I think that's true. Didn't they get acquired by Paramount?
I heard something about that. I think this is maybe a topic for another episode, but like,
it's true. 2 hours, 2 hour 10 minutes so far.
Enduro.
There's like, I think there's an issue with how the sponsorship and funding works for the broadcast. Like, the broadcast is taking money from endemic bike sponsors to have place on the broadcast. And like,
it's a good point. And like the team fees and stuff.
And like, I don't think that's the promoting entity should not be trying to make a direct bag off the sport. Like,
I think that was like a response to viewership problems at the beginning after that acquisition. And like, maybe they should reassess that going forward. If viewership is better and they're making more money off of ad or subscription revenue or whatever it is, then maybe charge the teams less money.
Yeah. The incentive and financial structure, I think there's like a fundamental issue there, especially in the current like landscape of the sport. I think in the end, it results for like less money for riders and like things that drive the sport forward. Like we're basically funneling money like outside of mountain biking into big tech conglomerate, which I think is an L.
It's a British media, man.
Yeah.
Give us some money. Hey, give us a little money.
Like, I won't make that point, but like maybe that, because I think there's a level of this in other sports. I don't know, where it's like, the just higher level like media partnership and funding for like even like non-Warner Brothers media, if like, and maybe this is a good transition into Enduro, but like how, like I think there needs to be some sort of like media investment from the promoters, like, and I think they're trying to do that with themselves, but I think there's a different way that looks to like bring more eyes onto the sport.
Yeah. No, I do think that's a great transition to Enduro, which I think like the first thing I'll say is that they've been putting in some effort to make Enduro broadcasting more accessible to the consumer, which I appreciate as like a former and current Enduro athlete, as all of us are here on this.
I'm not an Enduro athlete.
You raced an Enduro this year. Is that true or is that false?
Oh, I participated in one.
Two?
Maybe by the end of the year.
Did you do TDS? No, you did just sprint
bike.
Oh, it's still Enduro.
No,
I guess.
I'm not going to sit here and champion being an athlete riding an e-bike.
Just saying that we all appreciate and understand the sport of enduro.
Yeah, I participate.
We've walked the walk at some point. We get it. So
yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway,
Teddy's
like
an
Elliot,
actual participator.
I've been trying, man. I just gotta. Yeah. Anyway, Elliot's been putting out good videos, doing some some coverage, which is good. A bit more like story of the race, and then there's like these independent media providers. Greg Callahan's been doing a bunch of work on like some stuff like Next Stage MTB. I've seen some other like stat stuff on Instagram. But like these people from the independent media side are like serving the target core demographic of enduro racing like really effectively. I do think that like, from my perspective, one problem is like that core demographic still just isn't that large. Like I think it's like somewhere on the order of like 5,000 to 15,000 people in the world like care about Enduro World Cups, which is like, that's not zero people, but it's not whatever the downhill broadcasts are getting on HBO.
Yeah. Do you think that number has stayed the same across Enduro's lifespan, or do you think that number has changed recently?
I think definitely like in the early days, Enduro was like super popular. I mean, you can go back on the EWS YouTube videos, and like I think those videos have quite a lot of views, and they're long videos, and they're also long videos before long videos were kind of like trendy popular on YouTube.
Yeah.
And like everyone was talking about Enduro, like I still think Enduro engages a lot of people, and like people are super into it. Like I looked at like on Pink Bike, they had like it was like the bikes of the Canadian Open Enduro, and it had like 160 comments on a Pink Bike article about these bikes. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Is that a lot?
So I think that's a lot on Pink Bike. I think
these Pink Bike videos of...
Yeah, I just looked at 2019, and it's like North Star's almost 200,000. That's...
Yeah. That's funny. I looked up 2019 EWS too, and it's like, this is interesting that like these are Pink Bike videos.
You filmed that North Star one, didn't you?
No,
I filmed it for Vital.
Oh, you filmed it for Vital. Yeah, okay.
But it's like, dude, this isn't that different. It's like, I mean, this is pretty well done, but it's like Rick is presenting. It's like, dude, each of these has,
150.
Trophy of Nations has 320,000 views.
Yeah.
It's a 16-minute video.
Insane, man. It's insane.
It's like, frick, what happened?
I think that like the fundamental driving force would be like a lack of novelty.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, whoa. It wants me to force quit my Google Chrome, which I will not be doing. But yeah, lack of novelty. Like I think that Enduro was originally attractive because it was something new. We went to all these new venues. It was exciting and fun, and I think there's a lot of progress in like the technology. But like because now it's under this umbrella of Warner Brothers, and it also like is in like a secondary role, there's no incentive for them to like do something new and exciting. And I think that like that sort of fall off is not only present in like the World Cup level, but also like, for example, like our local racing here in California has kind of been the same since it started in like 2013. And people are, they just like want something new. It's like,
I think that's fairly simple.
Yeah.
New, or is it just, I don't know. I mean, in a way, it's like 2019. It was maybe like the almost peak of Enduro in a way.
I think it was
like, and then obviously peak. COVID happened. Like that was like, it was like on the rise, and that was like when it was super sick, and I'd say like almost its peak, at least from my perspective. And then 2020 happened, and that kind of obviously fucked things up. And then I feel like 21, it was still like, at least California Enduro in 21 was like, I feel like pretty damn good. Like there was a lot of people
there was a
racing,
rebound for sure.
And because it was like post-COVID, like let's fucking do it. And then from there on, I think it seems like it kind of, I don't know, but when did Warner Brothers take over? Was it 22? No, it was 23.
It was like 22 winter. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was a major shift there in just like the mind, the mind space, or like the cultural relevancy of enduro, like whatever that. I don't think this is a huge deal, but I think it's not negligible. Is like changing the name from EWS to EDR. I think was an L.
Huge L.
Like,
yeah.
Dude, that name had just like so much. Like even now, I'm like hesitant, or it irks me to call it an EDR.
It's still called EWS. Like it's
EWS forever.
Like,
yeah.
Maybe there was some like ownership or like legal, like they couldn't do it, but regardless, I think that was an L.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay. Doom loop aside.
Yeah.
I think that like on the good side, I think the level in enduro is like all time high.
For sure.
And like the amount of investment and energy put into tech and like I was saying earlier, like independent media, all time high. The tracks look sick this year.
Yeah.
Like, they all look super gnarly. Looks like, like Brian talked about this in one of your weekly shows. It looks like more technical than downhill. Like it's harder to ride that shit. It looks like. And like there's all these random stories kind of coming through, like, for example, like the Tristan Botterham, like losing bike sponsor and then winning a race on a different bike that he never trained on in the off season. So dope. The number one elite man being someone who's never won a race and also on a gearbox bike from a startup from Santa Cruz, California. Like that's crazy.
Yep.
That's where Vanth is from.
Priority F with Santa Cruz.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain. But I had talked to them in the off season, and they were like, "We're from Santa Cruz." I was like, "Wow, that's cool." Anyway, but I think all of that is awesome. And like the sort of vacancy of like the more traditional independent media, like Jack Moyer and Jesse, and like those shows that people really depended on to consume enduro, like those being gone. Yeah, for one, it has like opened up an opportunity for people to capitalize on that. But like, I think that maybe the riders need to be doing a better job of trying to do that. But again, that's a full-time job right there.
Added responsibility.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
go race and if you're not on a team, which I don't know how many of those people are on an actual team.
Very few.
And very few. The workload of trying to race enduro,
like maybe almost nobody.
And like not having.
I think Yeti still has a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
and then having to do media, like that it's insane.
I mean, I think
workload would be insane.
I think Teddy and I, we have talked about this briefly, and I think this goes back to my point with the promoter, like making an investment here, is because I think you're right, and I think the shows that really stuck in like the latest gen of enduro were following Jack Moore's YouTube. Like when I wanted to go on and figure out what happened on the race weekend, I would typically just watch a Jack Moore video or just Jesse video. And I think this point has been made of like enduro being an athlete driven sport, because it's very hard to tell the perspective and the story of the entire race through a race weekend, because there's so many stages. The lead changes so many times. It's so much information to capture all the athletes in under one story or umbrella. Like it's very fragmented. But if you have the story told from one athlete's perspective, it's like it's much more digestible. So I think like the story from the perspective of the athlete is like a very important one, but at the same time, it's an unrealistic expectation to put that on the athlete. So I think that's where like Warner Brothers has dedicated a significant media effort to this to promote it. And I think that's like respectable. And I think it's landing a little bit more now, but it's like, okay, what is the most effective use of that resource, which I think is fairly large. I mean, the last video series they did last year, like what was that thing called?
Grit and Glory.
Grit and Glory. I cringe to estimate the financial backing of that series, and like ultimately, I don't think it did that well.
I mean, I think there's so many reasons why Grit and Glory is like an example of a bad solution. Like for one, it wasn't interesting. And for two, I think the biggest problem really is like that and this makes sense because of the whole financial ecosystem of Warner Brothers, but like they're focusing on athletes from teams that are paying them money.
Yeah.
Because those teams want their athletes in the spotlight, but therefore they're missing the actual story of the race, which is like Dan Booker winning a World Cup.
Totally.
Like coming off of a winter of concussions and not riding a bicycle, coming out, winning finale, opening round on flat pedals, and like he gets maybe 12 seconds on the screen, 12 seconds.
Yeah, for we're getting like all these athlete profiles, and like we're in coffee shops and stuff, and it's like
Slav is like, he's happy to be there. Awesome, that's so good. But like, I want to know how Dan won the race. And so it's just like a big fumble, really, on that side of things. And then again, it's a feedback loop, and that shows people that type of media isn't successful. But it's not because that's intrinsically not interesting. It's because of like the way that they went about doing it was just like not it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like the whole point I was trying to make here is that, you know, the investment from Warner Brothers, I think, could go to supporting the media efforts of the individual riders. And I think this comes back to like growing the sport from like an athlete driven perspective is like, dude, if there was a media team dedicated to producing videos for each rider, and each rider wore a like a GoPro, and then turned in their SD card at the end of the day. They were on track doing interviews and stuff, and then they put together a like Warner Brothers subsidized like personal vlog for each rider, like, and that comes with the support of being and like maybe you need to be in the top 10 to get that service or whatever. Like obviously we can't do it for everyone, but
there you go. Like, yeah, but at least that's like a meritocracy.
Yeah, I think that would be
pay to play.
That would create, and then like the rider could be like, oh, I'm in the top 10. I get the media support of Warner Brothers to make my videos, and that makes them like automatically super valuable to a team, a sponsor, whoever. And
it's a good idea.
I don't know, that way to me makes it all circles back to like bringing people and money into the sport. Because I guess that's a valid question too. It's like, does Warner Brothers having a somewhat more successful like roundup video make it so that like those riders can go to their sponsors and get more and get support to do the series? Like, is it moving the needle? I think it is to a certain extent, but like, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just how I'm trying to think of it.
Yeah, I think it would move the needle, honestly. And then like in terms of like results in the sport, I think that like on the men's side, it's been a bit of a shakeup, like kind of an inconsistent season. Conditions have been super variable. We've had like a lot of different race winners, like some first-time race winners. Honestly, I should probably be looking at the results off the top of my head, but like exciting. Like
I got it. I got this one.
Yeah,
there has not been one repeat winner in the men's.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Good stat.
Yeah.
Confirming what you're saying is that it's
just sick.
It is. It's not as like. Yeah, in the women's, it's just there's been some dominance, but
it's
in
Ella.
the men's,
Ella's slaying, and then some the rest of like the top 5 in the women's has been kind of like swapping in and out. Our friend Ellie's been working her stripes off the jersey, I think.
Yeah.
I told her she gets one crash for every stripe in the rainbow, and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Does she get any left? She used them all.
I think she's out of crashes. She's done. So it's good news.
Yeah. I mean, she got a podium last round?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the series is like almost wrapped up. Like what? There's one more race.
It's this weekend.
One more.
It's literally like it's next weekend. Right?
Yeah.
5 days.
Yeah. Feels short.
It is short. It's like less races than they've ever done,
Yeah.
and it's ending like it's.
In the
This
summer.
is the craziest one, dude. Yeah, like what is that? A full 2-month gap between the last World Cup and then World Champs for Enduro.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's
like
crazy.
there should be racing. And there should be racing in America. What?
There should be
Enduro
racing in
racing
America.
in America?
Yeah.
Ideally.
North
Although
America at least.
I don't know if you caught that, but at Silver, at the USA National Championships Enduro, what the fuck is it called? North American Enduro Cup.
Yak.
There were like quite a few UCI people there.
Oh, I did not catch that. That's interesting.
Yeah, there was like 3 guys who had like the Enduro World EDR World Cup logos on their shit,
Okay.
and they had accents. So, you know,
we had some
that's
foreigners.
a good
We had
sign.
some foreigners in Idaho.
Yeah, look, but what that tells me is that they're scouting. They're very seriously scouting that as like either around next year or the year after, which is sick.
Dude,
I mean, that should be.
It should be. It's
valid.
EDR World Cup winner.
I mean, dude, I would bet on it.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it just would make me happy to go to that venue and race a World Cup. That'd be great.
So this is a me take on Enduro and potentially its downturn is like they close the door to randos like myself participating, and I think that at least like you look at like domestic, statewide, California Enduro, the pro field used to be like 30 people, now it's like 6. And it's like if you were like an aspirational racer, and then all of a sudden now there's no way. Like, go look at trying to to get qualified to race in EDR, and it's like, first of all, it's like almost impossible to find. And if it's the same as it was, I'm pretty sure like the way you qualified was win national champs. So like you have one shot for one person a year to try to like, especially for the US, like that's crazy. And like, I think the system they had, like the qualification system that the EWS had was incredibly well done. And it gave hope to the normies. Like myself, I'm a normie, okay? But like that's the thing though, is it's like you take that away and then now you're reducing, like, I don't know how people get into the EDR anymore unless you
I think you have to. I think there's the team route, or you have to
win national champs. So you
win national champs, or
good luck.
Or you have to like podium an open race, which is not all that easy to do.
No, because
and they're only doing a couple of them a year.
Yeah,
it's stacked with all the people that don't have licenses.
Yeah, no, so it's like I agree with your point. It's like excruciatingly painful to even get on this series. It's
not even realistic,
and like
that's to me, like the big reason, like I raced some downhill back in the day, and then like why I stopped racing downhill and went towards racing enduro is I actually just like riding my bike and going to venues and riding my bike and like riding more than one track. So there's like the participation fact of enduro is cool, and I think that's like. I think the EWS 100 was a really cool thing, like getting to do that at North Star when they did the actual EWS, and then us EWS 100 racers got to do the same thing, but and that was really cool. And I think that to me gives top down life to the sport. And if you don't have that, it's like, okay, so why would I don't know. I mean, it also comes down to like, why are you racing or whatnot? But
there's at least a pathway. I mean, I think it's valid to say that when we were racing the California Enduro Series, like 2020, and like just that time frame, like me, you, and a handful of other people, like I think a decent amount of people in the pro category were like trying to get points to go race EWS, whether that happened or not. Like that was part of the plan. And like for me, I got in a 7th or an 8th at Ashland, and then I had enough points to go race in EWS. Like
same here.
Like I think
12th place did it.
And then I'm like, fuck yeah, dude! Like we're going to Europe. like we're doing this thing.
It's pretty sick.
And, like it was pretty badass. And if anything, like the argument is like maybe it was too easy, but I don't think it hurt anything.
I don't
really.
think so. Like you still had to qualifying through Ashland is like comedy.
It's hilarious, yeah.
Like
that is insane. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was literally like how I got points was Ashland, because how it worked back in the day is like if people didn't have a license in the results sheet, they got bounced. So like I think I got 16th that day. Like it wasn't anything great, but like a couple people didn't have licenses, like EWS licenses, so they didn't get points. So on the EWS result sheet, you got bumped up because it was just people who had licenses.
Yeah,
and it was like
I remember like what
small
the
amount
first
of
time I
points
raced one
to like do it. It's just hilarious.
The first time I ever raced EWS, points didn't exist. You could just register. How about that one?
That's so sick.
And they had amateur categories at the EWS. It's like you're racing EWS amateur 30 to 49 or whatever. That wasn't long lived, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think you need
a pathway, and
yeah.
I mean, like who was the girl that we would email? Natalie.
She was so good, like so on top of it. Took care of everything.
Cleaner. Yeah, it's like, oh, here I am, Brian from California, who just got 7th at Ashland, but like she's making sure I get into this race, like asking her some like bullshit ass questions, like she, and then it's like, oh, I'm in Val d'Aosta and I like don't really like know what the deal is, and like she would email me back same day to like make sure I knew what the fuck was going on. Like it was cool. Like shout out to her 100%.
Huge unsung hero for sure. Like she like it was like she would like make sure you had everything you needed, so you didn't show up like, oh, I don't have a UCI license. Shit. Like
she just knew she was dealing with like some dumb fucking boys that are like
and even the era where there was no UCI sanctioned EWS racing pre-UCI was sick. Okay, I just want to speak to the pathway. Like, so I intended to go race some of them this year, and like it didn't work out because I learned that it's a bit more difficult than I thought. However, like there are pathways that exist. The most tangible of which is you can petition your country federation.
Okay.
So with a 2-month advance notice, you can like send a petition to, for example, USA Cycling. So like this weekend, I think Canyon and Eric Olson are racing the EDR World Cup for Team USA. So like that is like, and I learned this too late that you could do this petition pathway. So I didn't make it into the races that I wanted to do, but that is my intention for next year. I'm going to try to do at least one of them. But yeah, like, so you could do that, but again, it's like there's 4 seats per team federation for all categories per race. So for a country like the US, it's like there's a lot more than 4 people.
Yeah.
But if you're like Slovenian or something like that, like you're good. I don't know.
Or some other,
we
abstract example, but like what I mean.
We need a certain amount of entries per capita.
Yeah, it should be population proportional. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Like, there's many ways that the sport could branch apart, and I kind of thought it already would have done so at this time, but it isn't doing that. And like, rumor has it that like the EWS is going to become better in the future. It was insinuated to me like they have some pretty exciting venues that have never been raced that are coming. Next year or the year after that, they have like all this, stuff kind of hypothetically up in the air. But again, this is just like promises that have been made, and like who knows what will actually pan out. But yeah, like I don't know. It's like kind of in a weird spot because like U.S. domestic enduro racing is kind of like really falling off. But like Canadian racing, I think is like doing really well. Yeah. Like I think the people are like have careers racing domestically in Canada, which is crazy.
Like Canadians low key have like a super strong presence right now. Like even with the absence of Jesse, like I mean,
Jesse's still racing too.
Yeah. And he still has a career, but dude. I mean, this maybe is another podcast, but like understanding the demise of U.S. enduro racing, like what happened there, because it's
People
kind
stop
of
partying.
it's kind of its own story in a sense, but
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I think the short answer is clear. It's like young riders aren't going into enduro because they don't see a future in enduro. So it just feeds back, and then they're all racing downhill, and then the level is so high in the U.S. for downhill that like they're not going to make the cut. You know, it's like, I mean, not necessarily. Some of them are going to make the cut, but the cut is like it's a very razor sharp cut. I
It's
think
super
in
high,
U.S. downhill.
Yeah.
One tangent about Jesse. So raced the Canadian Open Enduro with him. He was on that new bike, and he told me that he consistently hits his full face to his stem when he's racing. So we're talking about arm travel. Like that guy is literally taking it to the chin all the time. And I'm like, I have never touched the stem with my helmet in my life. Not a crash situation, but that was like, it kind of was like, I was like, maybe I should move my arms more. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, the way he rides it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but no, that is wild. That's not something I ever intentionally. Yeah, I don't know if that's happened outside of like a very scary situation that I'm already in.
Had it happen on a dirt bike, but never a mountain bike.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
Well, that's like going uphill seated. Sometimes like you just get caught out, but like on a mountain bike going downhill, that's pretty insane.
I mean, and like just to make a point there, like Jesse and Elliott were like off the front in the race. Like I think they put a minute into Leaf, who's the current world number 1. I think they put a full minute into him over a day of racing. But like you could make the argument that he wasn't trying that hard because he's not trying to crash and like because he wants to win the world title.
Overall,
but also, like they were on rails.
Noted.
And like so Jesse, like he's not racing, but he's on rails, and then Elliott is also on rails and is racing. So I think he'll be an interesting character to kind of see in the last race and see what he can do.
Well, all right, I got
Lots for thoughts
again, and I think we should just close this thing down. If anyone has made it this far, congrats! You've
incredible.
High
you
five.
Get an Easter egg. Here's my social security number.
You want to commit tax fraud? Here.
You've earned the opportunity to be Teddy Hayden online.
Be me.
But
be me, be more.
Whoa. Shout out. All right, we're shutting it down. Good shit. Catch us in the next one. We'll do more of these later.
Maybe.
Cacao.
We're doing
America.
more, dude. Come on.